So you guys already know it's a movie review, and today we're going to be talking about 28 years later, The Bone Temple. So I just got done watching The Bone Temple, and I have to say my opinions on last year's film. I really liked it. Big fan of Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think he's a fantastic actor and really good at leading a film. I mean, Craven is kind of its own thing. We don't talk about that. And I will say 28 years later, that came out last year, I would for sure say that's worth a watch. The only thing I didn't like about that film was the ending left me a little bit jarred. I think there was a lot of tonal shifts on that ending. I think it could have been an after credit scene, something that kind of separated itself and told you how the pacing was going to be for, this current film that just came out. But yeah, it just kind of came out of left field, and that was my only real judgment of the film. Now, with that being said, going into the Bone Temple, I'm very happy with where they decided to focus within this universe. Because I mean, when you hit 28 years later, they introduce a lot of aspects. They're setting up this trilogy. They're setting up, okay, hey, we got this going on, we got this going on, and each film is going to have a different kind of pinpoint on what we want to show you. And I think it's good. I think it starts a little abruptly. Like, in full honesty, the pacing of these two movies, it feels more equivalent to like a show, like a weekly episode show. And I think it would have benefited from doing that structure instead of what we're doing in theater, because now you have to take in consideration you have an R rating, which is going to limit audience views. I know they're doing it on a fairly, small budget, which is good, but again, limiting audiences' views. A lot of people aren't going to go out to the theater and watch it compared to television, where people are willing to watch a show over the weekend. So I really wish we would have seen kind of the transition to that instead of the movies, because I think there's a lot more story to tell here than in the hour 45 that we get. And that's what I want to kind of jump into, is just I felt there was a missing piece. And without getting into spoilers, those who have seen it will know what I'm talking about. There is a specific character who is in the first movie. We do not see a single frame of that character. No side plot, no build off on the last shot that we saw them in the first film. And I think if you would have spliced in at least some of that into this, I would have walked out feeling a little bit more fulfilled. But instead, again, I kind of felt like the stakes were a little bit low. The storytelling and, what we do jump into, fantastic. And again, the cinematography and what they're building on and some of the commentary they have on certain aspects of like religion and all that is all fantastic. But it just doesn't feel rewarding when we get to that ending. And again, the ending is fun, but it's very abrupt and kind of out of left field, like the last one. I just would have liked a little bit more setup and a little bit more payoff from what we saw from the previous film. But to speak on some of the performances, I mean, Ray Fiennes, gosh, man, I just feel like ever since I saw The Menu, I could watch this guy do anything. He owns that screen time, and the specific plot point they do with his character, I think, is very world building, and it leaves you second guessing yourself when you're walking out of the theater, like, okay, hey, is this just the beginning of this, or is this going to build off into the third one? And I really hope it's the latter, because I would love to see where we saw this plot line go continuing to the third one, but it's kind of left up in the air. And with that, I mean, they for sure set up a third one. I really hope this isn't a case of, hey, we're setting up the third one, and then we find out that's not being made, because I don't believe it's been filmed yet. But I think, we need a conclusion to this, because this world, I mean, I'm a big fan of all the films in this universe, right? 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks, and then now, the 28 years. I think that it's a good story to be telling, and something we don't often see with zombie movies. And again, they've been very methodical with, okay, this is where we want to focus. This is where we're going to build. Next movie, all right, we're done with that. I think have some things bleed over a little bit and carry it on, and you would have a solid trilogy here. I got to say, some of the performances in there, especially, Jimmy, the main Jimmy, we saw him, in Sinners early last year. Absolutely killer. I mean, the screen time with his character, if the character wasn't so gruesome, it would be very enjoyable. He does a great job of kind of carrying on, and I hope he doesn't get typecast. Like, I hope he's not just the go-to villain now, because I think there's way more depth to his acting ability, and especially how that character evolves within this hour and 45. Very kind of funny, and I'm excited to see where his character leads off. Now, this is a good movie, and I'm on the line of worth it and not worth it. And it's hard because, if you like zombies movies, I think this is for sure your lane. Go see it. It's a very fun movie. The zombies are terrifying, probably the most terrifying zombies I've seen on screen. Dawn of the Dead is pretty terrifying as well. But it also borderlines to, like, if you like the last one and aspects of the last one, you're either going to like where they went with this, or you're going to, again, have that feeling where I felt, where you're like, okay, this part's missing. It's going to kind of take you out, and you're not going to be able to enjoy the other aspects of the film. I think go into this with an open mind, enjoy the world and where it's leading, and you'll have a good time. Is it the number one movie that's out right now? No, it's not. But I think it is for sure worth a watch, whether you're going into theater or whether you're waiting for it to be on streaming at home. But I would recommend going into theater so that we are able to get a third one, because I think they're waiting to start filming the third one based on this box office. So go ahead and go see it in theaters. But yeah, guys, I want to know your thoughts on 28 years later, even the 2025. I'd love to talk about that since we didn't get to have that opportunity last year, but also your thoughts on this current film. And if you agree with any of the things I said, if you disagree, put in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Overall, big fan of the movies that are coming out this year. And like I said, you guys, last week, this is going to be weekly review. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this review, make sure to hit that like button right below this video. It helps out a lot. You guys, it goes a long way. But that's going to be it on my review of 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.